Hey y'all, how you doing? This is Bryce with SCPC, and today I wanted to talk about our latest piece of research looking at how in many counties, single senators actually control the appointment process for powerful local judges. Before we jump in, I will just say that the Policy Council is a nonprofit organization, which means we rely on charitable donations from viewers and readers alike. If you'd like to support us in our work, there is a link to do so in the video description. So what we're talking about today are what's called magistrate judges. These judges matter a lot to your average person. They handle a majority of misdemeanor offenses, traffic violations, landlord-tenant disputes, cases involving domestic violence, and basically any civil dispute when the amount in question doesn't exceed $7,500. The reality is, for most people, magistrate court is going to be the highest level of the court system that your average person has to really deal with. So, importantly, how do magistrate judges get their jobs? Well, the truth is that is often decided by just one or two senators, depending on the size of the county where the magistrate is going to serve. Basically, if you look at the state constitution, it says that magistrates are appointed by the governor with Senate confirmation. This may sound familiar to the federal model of appointing judges. But here's the problem for South Carolina. Lawmakers, who can't help but look out for their own power, basically decided that what the state constitution says isn't good enough. They created a law that says that the governor may only appoint someone to the position of magistrate who was first recommended by that county's Senate delegation. And all a Senate delegation is it means the senators representing a particular county. So you have the Richland County Senate delegation, the Greenville County Senate delegation, so on and so forth. So let's look at some of the numbers on this. These are courtesy of the Nerve, which has done magnificent reporting on the issue of magistrates, and I would encourage everyone watching this to go and read some of that coverage. It found that in 12 counties, just one senator controls the appointment process for magistrates. In 17 counties, that number is up to 2 senators that control the process. Now, obviously that is way too much power for small groups, sometimes just individual lawmakers, but it gets worse. Some of you may know this, but there are plenty of state lawmakers who are also practicing attorneys. This means that inevitably there will be senators in the courtroom of magistrates that they actually helped to office. Think about that. How can anyone have trust in the independence of their local judges in this sort of system? So between the Nerve and the Policy Council, together we have been reporting and researching on the issue of magistrates for over a decade now. And more recently, other publications have done good work highlighting the problems of the magistrate system, like the Post and Courier and ProPublica. I say all this because in the wake of some of this coverage, there was a brief period not too long ago where lawmakers and the governor suddenly recognized that this was a big issue and demanded things be changed. However, no major legislation was ever passed, and here we are about 2 years later. So let's look at some of the bills that were filed this year dealing with magistrates and decide whether anyone in a position of power is still treating this issue seriously. I think if you've been following our recent work, you may not be surprised by the answer. There was one bill that would raise the fees on all paperwork filed in magistrate civil court. That money would be used to help pay for new starting salaries for magistrate judges, which would increase under the bill. In some of the state's largest counties, magistrates would have a starting salary of $80,000. The bill also affirms that magistrates are entitled to cost of living and salary adjustments similar to that of other county employees. For transparency's sake, I should point out that the bill was filed by Senator Brad Hutto, who is a practicing attorney. At least 4 bills would expand the power of magistrate judges by giving them civil jurisdiction over cases involving a higher amount of money. Remember that they're currently capped at cases up to $7,500. One bill would address something we mentioned earlier and finally prohibit senators from appearing as an attorney in magistrate court, but that ban would only apply in their home counties. And finally, another bill would attempt to resolve the current holdover problem where you have judges that are actually serving after their term has expired. Although based on the way that the bill is written, it's not clear how effective it would be. This happens all the time where you have a judge, their term has expired, but their Senate delegation does not recommend a new name to the governor. So that judge basically just gets to stay in office. The Nerve actually did a story on this back in April and found that one magistrate judge had been serving for 19 years after her term had expired. Most importantly, however, not a single bill filed this year would fix the appointment system for magistrates or get Senate delegations out of the process and return actual appointment power to the governor. All that to say, there is no real sense of urgency among those in power, despite what they were saying less than 2 years ago, to fix what is one of the state's most pressing and urgent issues, in our opinion. However, they could at any time. Fixing this would not require a constitutional change in the same way that it would for reforming the rest of the state judicial system because, as we mentioned earlier, magistrates are appointed by the governor and confirmed by the Senate according to the Constitution. The inclusion of Senate delegations is merely part of state law. As always, we will be tracking these bills plus any new bills filed heading into the 2022 legislative session, and we'll keep you all posted with any new developments on the matter. Thank you so much for watching.